Hello friends, welcome to the Ekalavya Universities. Today I am starting chapter number 2 in the Java All Clear book. This covers the basic elements of a Java program. In fact, this is the actual beginning of our core Java studies. Then you get a doubt, what about the first chapter? Actually, the first chapter I have designed and developed with unique objectives and strategies. When you analyze college-oriented studies and all that, for application-oriented studies, initially they dump a lot of theory on the heads of the students. Then student cannot understand what is the purpose of that theory and all that because there is no application. Application is delayed. So in the meantime, student forms a negative impression. He loses the first impression on the subject and earmarks it as boring or a difficult subject. As you know that, once we lose the first impression on a person or on a subject, regaining the same is very difficult. Very difficult. And the second one is starting trouble. Actually, in application-oriented subjects and all that, as it is totally new to the student, then obviously they face some starting trouble. Until unless they overcome the starting trouble, they cannot progress. Many students do not have that much integrity to overcome the starting troubles. These are the two basic reasons. One is getting first impression. Second one is overcoming all the starting troubles. If we take care of these two things and all that, if we can provide any system for this and all that, every student gets first impression on the subject. First impression plays a vital role. Ultimately, they start enjoying subject. And ultimately, wherever they enjoy, you know that they never tire. And ultimately leads to achieving mastery over the subject. This is the secret behind achieving mastery over the application-oriented subjects and all that. That's why I have created first chapter with directly with the application, little theory and more application. Just 35 pages of the first chapter, I thought 5.5 hours, 330 minutes I took. Meticulously every point I covered. Of course, theory is very little and there is so much application. Then, if you perform the first chapter thoroughly, without any selection and random study, you spend 3-4 days, no problem. Every element of first chapter you understand. Then you get the first impression, first best impression on Java, number one. Number two, you can definitely overcome all the starting troubles. Then you start loving Java. If you know C and all that, you better understand what is the superiority of Java over C and all. Then you start with the first impression and all that. Now theory is never boring. Now, whatever elements I am going to teach in this chapter, you can understand everything verbatim and practically because already you performed programs. Now it is like illustratively, you are able to drive the car. After that, I am explaining what are the components of car, what are the do's, what are the don'ts and all that. Then you can easily understand. That is the technique what I developed for application-oriented studies. Actually, why our students are not achieving proper command over the programming languages, when you analyze that, these are the basic reasons and all that. Mainly, most teachers are adopting same teaching methods and procedures, whatever they apply for non-application oriented subjects, for the application oriented subjects. That is the basic reason they dump so much theory in the beginning without application. Applications are delayed. Of course, it may be formal approach and all that, but ultimately students should master. That is the basic objective of our Ekalavya system. That's why I am redefining the career oriented studies. So that is reflected in the first chapter. That's why if you want to achieve mastery over Java, first chapter, each and every element you study, work out all the programs. And one thing I tell you, it is not complete. It is already I told you my strategy and objective. So there is some abstraction. Then from this chapter onwards, every element of program we thoroughly study, we meticulously study and master. By that, you develop lot of interest in the theory also. So only one chapter changes your attitude towards the subject. But one thing, once again, I am telling you, you come out of your inherent college habit, random study and selective study. Here, no important, no unimportant, all are equally important. And this is the link in the chain. In a chain, each link is equally important. The strength of the chain depends on the weakest link, that you know. That's why each and every concept you master before proceeding to the next concept. First master this current concept, and if you feel that you mastered it, then you can proceed to the next one. That is the procedure you follow, and within a few weeks you can achieve perfect command over core Java, and ultimately you can target for OCP JP exam, that is the nearest international certification for you. Before understanding the basic elements of a Java program, let us first consider the computer program definition. A computer program is a set of instructions which acts upon set of data in order to achieve the predefined task and which is executed on a computer. Actually, you must remember one thing. Every definition of a concept gives the blueprint. But don't expect that you have to present it, a definition is to be presented like a complex sentence and all that. That is not required. Whatever characteristics that a concept is having, those the characteristics must be covered by your definition. That's why first understand what is a computer program definition. A computer program is a set of instructions which acts upon a set of data in order to achieve the predefined task and which is executed on a computer. Now, if you analyze this program, all these are instructions and this is the data. Hello Java is the data. Okay, every computer program is written using a computer language. What computer language provides? Every computer language provides mainly two things. First one, semantics, and second one, syntaxes. Semantics means meanings, like human language. What human language provides? Human language provides a dictionary. If you see dictionary, what are the contents of the dictionary? Table, what is the meaning? Desk, what is the meaning? Pen, what is the meaning? Passion, what is the meaning? Like that, any human language provides meanings of the words that you can call them as tokens in this view. Second one is grammar. Grammar. In the similar manner, computer language also provides mainly two things, semantics and syntaxes. Just semantics, a simple example I explained. And now, this is a token. In human language, we call it as a word. Here we call all these elements as tokens, program tokens. So what the role a word plays in a human language, the token plays the same role in a computer language. So when I write this, if you know programming, you know that what is the meaning. Beginning of the program, beginning of a block, and this one, ending of the program or ending of the block. If I write this, what you understand? This represents an integer data type. If I write, what you understand? It is like a full stop in the human language. Full stop in the human language, this semicolon. That is, it represents an instruction is completed, an instruction is over. These are called semantics. A computer language provides semantics, second one syntaxes. In a human language also, grammar is there. We compose words and sentences and frame sentences strictly according to a grammar. Here also one grammar is provided and that is called syntaxes. So we compose all the tokens strictly according to the syntax rules of the language and we form instructions to the computer. Understand? Then we can redefine this program as every computer program is a set of instructions, set of tokens. Every token is having a semantics as a meaning. Those are composed according to the syntax rules of a language. So whenever a program is executed, millions of signals are generated, millions of electronic signals are generated from the instructions of the program, and those are executed, those are implemented by the processor, and ultimately the task is achieved. That you have to understand. Now, before program is executed, the program, we write it as a set of instructions and all that, but compiler first tokenizes it. Tokenizes it means it dissects into tokens, a stream of tokens. It dissects it into a stream of tokens. Now you see, this is a program. We, being a human, we expect a layout. In a layout, because for us, readability is very important. But readability is the human requirement, but computer does not require that. Computer always looks at a program or analyze a program as set of tokens and all that. That's why first whenever compilation is started, program is tokenized. Tokenized means dissected into tokens, a stream of tokens like this. Thereafter, compiler scans it like this. Scans it like this and all that. Then, if any unwarranted, unexpected token is present, any expected token is missing, then it gives the report. This you understand. Once again, I repeat the concept. A program we see as a set of instructions, but in view of compiler, it is nothing but a set of tokens. So, for this purpose, whenever compilation is started, then it is tokenized. That means it is dissected into tokens like this and all that, a stream of tokens, and then it scans it. In the scanning, any unwanted element is present or any wanted element, expected element is missing, then it gives the error report. That point always you remember. In tokenization, it ignores something, actually comment. This is the comment. Comment is not for the program. For the comment, no executable code is created. Comment is meant for creating readability, improving the readability of the program. This is a human requirement, not the processor requirement or computer requirement. That's why before tokenization, whatever comments are there and all that, all the comments are set aside. So Now, how can we understand basic elements? There are numerous basic elements provided by a language. Then, how can we learn them? If we have to learn and all that, here, if you see this program, it is nothing but the composition of 20 tokens. Just you count it, there are 20 tokens. So, what is our strategy in understanding these are the basic elements. What is our strategy to understand the basic elements means we have to classify them into different groups depending on the nature. Depending on the nature, and we take each and every group and study their characteristics, functionalities, limitations, and everything practically through applications. Then only we can master each and every element, basic element of the program. Ultimately, we can achieve command over the language. This is the strategy what we adopt to master the basic elements of a Java program.